This was my digs last night. My surroundings. A little 360 action there. I heard there was going to be a winter storm, and it really didn't turn out to be a terrible storm. We got a little bit. Glad I came up. It's not the foot we had during Christmas time, or right after Christmas, but not bad. Not bad at all. Give you a little walk around. Let's see where I'm going to spend the next few days. Pretty good little spot. Snow still falling off the trees. All these beautiful hemlocks are up and down the creek here. They tend towards water. You don't see them as much on top of the hills and the mountains, but down by the water you see them all over the place. And it just tends to make it beautiful. I'll have to get some of that water here shortly. It's about lunchtime, Monday. I came up yesterday early, hiked in about 5 miles, and there were a few people I saw yesterday. Well, exactly one group actually. But there's nobody out here today. I tell you, when it gets a little bit bad, nobody wants to come out. And of course it's Monday, so probably everybody's going back to work. And that's probably the best time to come up here. You know you're going to be alone, especially when there's bad weather forecasted. Oh man, this is it's like the Garden of Eden up here, man. It's a nice little campsite here too. It's been here for a long time. People use it on and off. And usually in the summertime, there's more people that come up and through here, and so I won't even be down by the creek. I'll be up on top of the ridges That's the east side ridge is where I go mostly. But there's another ridge on the west side I've yet to explore. I will, eventually. Bridge. Wow, isn't that nice? I really want to check out, is this here? You can't see it from here, from the topo map. This is like a little wedge peninsula, real thin up towards the top and high. One of the highest points around. It's probably, I don't know, 600-700 feet higher than the creek here. And it's real thin and narrow up top. I'd like to check it out. It might be a good spot to... It's so steep to get up there. You can tell from the map that nobody in their right mind would go up there and make camp. And you know, there's no water up there either. Which means it's a good spot to go. So I'm going to be here, I'll be for a couple of days, and I'm going to make my way up there and see what it looks like. But anyway, check around. Well, this is the northernmost point of the Minister Creek Loop Trail. They call it, what do they call it? Triple Fork something or other. I'm still trying to find or figure out what the Triple Fork's about. I know there's two creeks running into each other here. That would make it a fork, as in by, as in two. I don't know where the third one comes in. But it's just gorgeous up here. Well, in the summertime, you can't hardly see anything because of the dense vegetation. In the wintertime, you get a much better look at it, especially for if you're a map nerd like me and you like to see elevations and all this stuff. Well, in the wintertime, you can see it. In the summer, you can't see anything except for trees and bushes and everything else. That's the east side over there. And that's the west side. Now there's another trail that touches the top of the Minister Creek Trail, or the loop, and that is the, gosh, I haven't had my coffee this morning yet. Gosh darn, I think it's called the North Coast Trail. No, that's not it either. Doggone it. Oh well, I'll think about it later. Let me walk down in here. Kind of feels like Robert Redford in that movie with him down here. I mean, it's just it's unbelievably beautiful. And let's see, wildlife up in here. Just about everything you see in the eastern United States. Now here's where these two creeks come together. There must be a third one somewhere. I don't know why else they'd call it triple fork. Goodly amount of water, a lot of melt off from the snow, but those are natural springs that feed those creeks. Farther on up, long ways up for both of them. This creek is cool though. It goes all over the place. You can see down there, once it gets down there, it goes right and it goes left. It can't make up its mind. So you get all kinds of cool little islands and stuff like that in there. Lots of good places to set up camp. But like I say, in the summertime there's more people and it's kind of a drag. You want to be out here by yourself. So I don't come here in the summer. I head up to the places where nobody else wants to go. Of course, that means you have to make water runs almost on a daily basis. Or you find yourself a little run that's coming down the hill there. And there's a lot of those too. Tend to dry up in the summertime, so. This is a national forest, Allegheny National Forest here in Pennsylvania. So I'm guessing that our government put up this bridge. And not doing so good. What's it say here? We got a little sign. It's wet. I can't even read. I'm gonna have to watch. I don't want to get this camera too wet. The bridge is unstable and unsafe. Please use extreme caution while crossing the creek. The bridge will be replaced in the spring. And yeah, it might be replaced unless that sequester takes the funding out of it. I think that sequester is going to be used as a political tool. And there's going to be funding here and there taken away. But really, I don't want to get into politics right now. I don't want to screw up my few days I have up here. Yeah, it's just as pretty as you want it to be, man. Seeing as I have a couple of days up here, which is really nice, I can do a little exploring and because I love to do that stuff. I mean, ever since I was a little kid, I loved to explore. And that hasn't changed. That feeling has stayed with me all these years. And here's some good places for set up a tent in here too, underneath these hemlocks. And lots of deer have been coming through. Few coyotes, but not many. Not many coyotes. Not like there is in southern Ohio. My God, they're taking over down there. Wayne National Forest. But I didn't hear him too much last night. Of course, we have black bear up here too. I've never been lucky enough to see one, but I got my eyes peeled. It's the end of March now, so they're going to be coming out of hibernation here pretty quick. It's really warm today. It's probably I don't know, 28. And that's just balmy for me. Anything around 30 it's almost too warm. I prefer it in the 20s. And when it gets in the teens, then it starts getting chilly. And down around 0, well, that's crazy. These cricks, they just cut through. They just cut through anywhere they want to. And it just makes for... Well, I never even saw this spot up here before. Well, that is some kind of wonderful. I've seen it on the map. I've never been up here. This is getting towards the east side of, or excuse me, the west side of the loop, west northern side. And I'll tell you what, this might be a good place to come in the summertime, because I don't think anybody goes up here. Mostly they just stay on the loop. They stay down by the main creek, and this is a side creek, and I don't know the name of it. One of the forks I was speaking about earlier. I'm going to have to venture up that way and see what I can see. Now, it'll be tough to get to in the summertime, no doubt, because it'll all be grown up, but that's all right. That's all right, man. I could make a nice little camp up here and go up, you know, see what's on up there, maybe a mile or so, and be away from everybody and everything. I'm gonna head back and make myself something to eat, get some coffee. All in all, I think we got about probably 6 inches or so. That's not bad. Been better if it was a foot. I didn't even bring my snowshoes. I didn't think we were going to get that much. Sunday morning I looked at the weather, and they kind of called the storm off, and they said, well, mostly it's going to go to the south of you. I imagine West Virginia got hit pretty good. West Virginia, Virginia, Southern Ohio, Kentucky. Well, at least we got some. This winter's been not enough snow for me, you know. We had a good one right after Christmas and right before New Year's, and I was up here. It was great, man. There was a foot on the ground already. That's why I came up. And as soon as I got here that night, another foot dumped on us. And it was just the most beautiful thing I think I've ever seen in my life. And this ain't bad here. This ain't bad. But boy, that was just a few months ago. Of course, I almost got snowed in here too. And I kind of didn't have a lot of food with me, and I ran out of cotton balls with Vaseline, and I didn't have any other fire starter to speak of. So I learned from those experiences. Like the man said, you learn a little bit every time you come out here. What did I forget today? I always forget something when you come up. I forgot a fork, or a spork, or whatever. So I had to fashion my own out of a piece of wood. And that wasn't too bad. It worked out well. I forgot a little tarp I put under my tent. It was rolled up with one of the other bedrolls we have. And I kind of expected condensation to come up through the floor, but it hasn't so far, you know, and of course I'm on straight snow. So let's see, what are we going to have? Oatmeal, or we could have oatmeal, or maybe oatmeal. Okay, we'll pick that. I don't know if you can see my tent down there or not. I have that little Kelty, and it blends into the snow really nicely. It's not pure white, it's like a very light gray brown, but it's good. It blends in. I've been thinking about a 4-season tent, something that can withstand the snow a little bit, you know, when you get dumped on. They're expensive, but another thing I don't like about them is their colors are so loud. Well, they're heavy too. Most of them are heavy, but they're made for mountaineering and stuff, and